So I have this little one to deal with this morning. Mr. Buddy, be very excited, Golden Doodle. Let's get grooming. So guys, when it comes to grooming a little puppy, you gotta have some patience, ready to rock. So when it comes to puppies, we really need to start introducing nice and slowly. I'm showing him my little squirt spray bottle here, and using it on him. He may be afraid of the sound, but it's really important for me to get all of that product on there so that I can brush him out properly. So he had a little bit of brushing before his bath. Now we're going to brush him out with a wet brush. Be sure when you're brushing your dog, when he's wet like this especially, that you have these little nibs on the top so that doesn't scratch his skin, because we're going to try to go in and get all of the knots from the base of his skin. I always start out at the back end here, and I just pull up and out. So he has some of that spray on him to help him if there's any knotting and whatnot. So we're gonna, and whatnot, and whatnot. Okay, so him being a puppy, he's going to be squirmy at this. So you gotta be ready to be patient with these ones here. You have to know right when you're starting with a puppy that it's going to happen, that you're going to need a little bit of patience. So expect it. Don't expect the dog to be completely complying with what you're doing. So you need to expect it. I like to do things in chunks, in sections. So I'll start by the back end so that the dog gets used to it from the back to the front instead of coming straight at him with the brush. So slowly at the back end, and I'm going to do one leg. And this is just a quick brush, right before drying, because separating the hair is really good before drying, because it helps to dry quicker. Especially these kind of coats, they're very, see how stringy that is, and it's curly? So yeah, I like to do that. So if you're at home and you're drying your dog, you may not have the same tools that I have, unless you purchase them. You get your 2 grooming arms like this, or 1 grooming arm that comes around like that. And I like to use this little belt here, so that while I'm drying, the dog doesn't move around so much. I'm going to turn my light on here. Hang on. And then there was light. Okay, so, all right, so I'm just going to put him in this little sling thing here, just to hold him from turning and turning. He may turn just the same, not as much, okay? But I like to use that because it's a lot easier on me. Let me know down in the comments section if you've ever heard of Groomer's lung. Give me a yes or give me a no. And Groomer's lung is a serious disease that's caused by dander and hair and, just bad air like that. So I like to wear my mask and protect my ears from hearing damage. When you're using these dryers every day for years on end, that's what happens. So I'm going to introduce the force dryer. There are 3 dryers I'm going to introduce to him today. I have the force dryer here that I'm going to turn on, let him hear it, and then I'm going to slowly come and dry in sections so he gets used to one area. I don't want to be throwing my dryer all around the dog, okay, because he's going to not know what's going on. So we're going to go into one section here, and we're going to get him used to this part, and then come in and do a second section, and so on, just like this. So puppies need to get used to ear cleaning, so what I do here is I just put a little cleaner on my little pad here, and I just give it a little swirl, and then I'll flip it around and I'll do the other side. Never use the same side in the ear, in each ear. Like, never use, just use the opposite side. Just use the opposite side each ear. Right, so those ears are nice and clean. There's nothing to pluck. Nothing to pluck in here. If there's only two, 3 hairs, it's fine. If the ear becomes is compacted, then you're going to need to pluck. Here I'm going to clean out his eyes. I'm going to make sure there's no poopies in his eyes. So I'll just hold the dog here. I'm going to use a flea comb. Come out and clean the inside of the eye like that. There's nothing there. I'm going to use my comb now. Have him smell it. It's all good. And comb it all up. And I'm just going to snip those corners here because I want to be able to get down to the skin to clean right on in the inner part of the eye here. Okay? And I did wash him in the bath, but that soap, I don't want that in the eyes, so I don't go right in the corner. But this stuff cleans out right in the corners here. I don't get this in the eyes either. So that's the face. Baby wipes for the baby bum. Let's show me your bum. See back here, sometimes poopies can stay there. I'll use my flea comb to take some of those out if there's some that didn't come out in the wash in the bath. So cut a little bit of that hair out to make some space so I can come clean his bum with a baby wipe. Right, so I'm going to attempt using a dryer here for his face. I didn't want to use the force dryer, so I'm going to come in with this little one here, have him smell it. Smell it. What's going on here, huh? Turn it on. Turn it back off. Show him again. Just to get him used to it. Pat him, tell him it's all good, it's okay. Turn it on. Bring it in closer. And turn it back off. Show him that it's fine. There's no problem. That's all it is. Get them used to it. Once they start turning their heads and they're not even paying attention to it anymore, that's probably because they're not bothered too much by it. So, depending. Sometimes they'll turn their head because they're shying away from it, but sometimes they're just turning their head because they're just not interested. Bring it in closer. Touch his feet. You turn it back off, have him smell. What's going on here, huh? It's all good. You're all good. You're all good. Turn it on. Kind of getting used to the idea, right? Show your feet. You get a little on your neck. Try to touch it with your other hand, petting them, scratching, giving a scratch. They know that this is just kindness. Nothing's bad really happening to them. Opposed to just stepping away and just blowing the air in their face. So I like to just give them scratches, and that separates the hair too. As soon as I'm going to bring this on the top, that too is going to probably scare him, so I'm going to come really slowly. Change the angle slowly. It's always best to try to go away from the face. Here, I'll stop it. Give him a little bit of brushing. Smell. You're good. You're good. Light brushing. And, just taking a break from that blow dryer. And then this helps to separate the hair when you're brushing, and it helps to dry the hair. You can use a comb too, and that's what I'm going to do for around his face, around his muzzle here. Lightly. They tend to have little knots here sometimes. Around, especially down here. They can get little knots. I'm going to turn this back on. I'm not going to go straight to his face. I'm just going to slowly introduce him to the dryer again. Bring it back on him. Underneath. He was getting used to underneath. I wouldn't come straight away into the face. See how calm he is for now? As soon as I bring it on the top, he may start wondering what's going on. He's not going to enjoy that. See? But you got to do it slowly. See, that's okay. That's okay. Holding the ear down. You don't want to have any air in his ear. So you're slowly going on the top. You keep rubbing the head. They feel like you're petting him, right? Let's change angles. He's fine at the top. Fine at the top. He's He's allowed to be scared. He's allowed to have reaction. Taking your time like this is going to pay off in the long run. Then it'll become a really good dog to groom. All right, so we're going to brush out this little puppy here. All nice and washed and dried. I'm going to put this back on here, and I'm going to brush him out. And the way I do that, guys, brushing out a dog going like, bringing this is a slicker brush, bringing this down onto the skin would cause scratches. Watch this. Do you hear that? And do you see that? Do you see that? That is what you do to the dog every single time you use this when you're brushing on the skin. Oh, he sees somebody outside. So the way you're going to want to do that is you're going to want to tap and pull away. Tap and pull away. This is the proper way to brush the dog. Tapping and pulling away. Pulling down, unless if you're going down like this, okay, pulling down, but you're not on the skin, like if I'm doing, look, I'm not touching the skin, coming down, okay? But the dog may be moving around and pulling, so I may catch the skin, okay? Look at that. Look at how horrible that is, okay? So imagine doing that, and you're going back and forth and back and forth. You're going to end up causing brush burn, okay? So you really definitely want to tap down and pull up and away. And it gets easier. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Okay? It's not your head. You know when you're combing your hair, it's not the same thing. You're just tapping and pulling away. And he's pulling away. Okay? I'm going to back this up, and I am going to keep brushing. So as you're brushing, afterwards you want to come in with your comb, metal comb, and you come in, you go down to the skin, and you want to go see if your job is well done. The reason why we want all of this hair to be like taking the knots out and dematting and whatnot is because when we come in with our adjustment combs, that needs to go through the hair. So I'm going to keep getting this done. You have to not be afraid to say no to your dog, right? So the dog is pulling, doesn't enjoy this. It's not his favorite thing. I'm not hurting him. He's just a puppy that just wants to be free. He doesn't want to have to be dealing with this, okay? So all I'm doing is brushing him, and sometimes he'll be pulling. And when he pulls, you tell him no, and you affirm no, no, no. Okay? I told him no for no reason, but I just wanted to show you guys, okay? So we're going to do this underneath. See how he reacts. Being a good boy. You're being such a good boy. Yes, you are. And you don't want to be playing around doing the googlies. Sometimes I'll end up doing it, but the reason why you don't want to do it too much is when they're on the table, they need to know that it's not playtime. It's time to have the groom and get the groom done, because if they get all excited, it's not good. It can be even dangerous. So. But sometimes it happens where, you know, I get all googly with them. And yeah, I'm sorry, honey. It does happen. Let's move on. The inside of the leg is definitely an area they don't enjoy. And this is where you're going to go in really slowly. If you have to brush the inside of the leg really slowly, you won't let me. He's slippery. He's slippy. He's so slippy. You're too clean. That's what's going on. You're just too clean. Okay? If the brushing inside is not working too much, I'd suggest that you use a comb to just pull out. Oh, see, it worked. See, it's all brushed. You just poke and pull up and away, poke and pull up and away, and change areas. Like you're at the base here, and then you can come in at the tip, and just keep poking and coming in different areas. If that's still knotted up, and you can at least pull it up like that, it's not to worry, because we can come in and cut all of that off anyway. So. But there's no problem with him right now. He's completely brushed out there. It's important between the ages of you know, around between 6 and 9 months, there's always possibility of having mats, especially with these types of coats, these fluffy coats, and the knotting starts coming in because, you know, it's getting longer, the adult hair is coming in, and trouble starts. So it's always good to have your dog groomed or groom your dog at an earlier stage. Maybe at around 5 months, you could give them their first 4 or 5 months. You can give them their first cut. If you let this get too long and you wait till they're 6 months, 9 months before you get the dog groomed, there's a lot of possibilities that the groomer may want to shave the dog down, because the dog, if the dog has not seen a groomer, has not had his hair cut before, he's going to be probably not acceptant of having the brushing done or whatnot. And even though you can't brush out those mats, some mats you can, yes, you can work some mats, but sometimes there's too many and they're in areas where it's really sensitive, under the arms, belly. That all needs to be shaved out. So don't be surprised if you need to shave. All right, so let's show him these blades here. I have a 30 blade here that I'm going to be using for his pads. If you're not used to the 30 blade, because that cuts really short, please use a 10 blade. Use a 10 blade if you're not used to it. If you're not a professional groomer, you know, it's best to start off with something a little longer. So we're going to be using this on his pads today. If he's kicking and kicking and kicking while I'm using it, I am not going to use this blade because I don't want this to go into his pads or whatnot. But this gives them nice clean finish. I'm going to try right now and see how he reacts. I usually like to keep my elbow nice and firm on the table here and give it a go. We're going to turn it on low. I just want to see. I have to show it to him first, right? Here I am talking and talking, but not realizing that I have to get him used to the sound. So he's fine with that, okay? He's fine. I'm gonna pet his feet, and I'm holding lightly, but my arm is on the table, and I'm holding nice and lightly but firmly, and we're just lightly doing this, okay? If he starts kicking with his foot, I am not even gonna take the chance, guys, okay? So we did one. We do the other one. Let's pet him so he knows what's coming. Petting. He thinks I'm touching him with my fingers. Like that. I'd usually be wearing my mask for this, but I'm talking to you. Not easy. All right. Next one. Let's do all 4. See how that goes. Now this one, he's going to see that it's closer. He wasn't too sure what was going on back there because he wasn't looking. So I'm just going to hold his foot up just lightly like that. He's going to want to sniff it. So I'm going to stop it and show it to him so you can sniff it enough. And you're going to notice that it's on low, that I've been using it on low. High, but I'm just using it on low. Take this paw again, lightly. This is his first time with me, so I'm not going to be too forceful on him. So always lightly. There, you know. If you can't get it all off, at least you got some off. Seriously. Now that one's done. I don't want to create any stress in this dog or any stress in myself. When you're lifting the paw, make sure that he transfers his weight on the other paws and not just like grab the paw from right under him, right? Because he's got all his weight on all 4s. So when you go to lift, you wait till he lets you lift. There you go. So you did his pads. Nicely done. Good boy. Always praise him. Good boy. Now let's do his little sannies here. For the sannies, I like to use a 10 blade, and it's important to use the 10 blade a little longer, okay? So I'm going to turn this on, lift him up. It's probably not going to want me to be using this under here. Okay, he won't want one underneath. Show him. All right. Whoa, I don't want that to fall. Hang on. Stand, honey. Show me your belly. Can I see your belly? Can we stand a bit? Not all dogs like to stand. If he doesn't want to stand, I'll go in from underneath, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to go in from underneath, and I'm going to go towards his face, towards his the front end. So I'm just getting all of this out underneath. Okay. We're all good. Hang on. You're okay. Some of that out under there. And we got to get everything that's in front of his little pee-pee area there. You got to get all of that out. See here? Over here. All of this. All this needs to come out. He won't let me do it from underneath. Not now anyway. Maybe as he gets older, he will. But this is all new, this clipper to him, so you're good, you're good, you're good. Feel comfortable here. Turn it back on low, just because he's not used to it. All right, that's good enough. Is that good enough? All right. All right, all right, all right. I'm trying to get in there, guys. You do the best you can, okay? Especially when it's their first time like this with you and he's just fighting me. All right. I may want to come back in a little later. I'm going to try to have him calm down for that. I'm going to do the underarms also on low. Just lift that. Go in and out as quick as you can. There you go. It's out. We're done. The reason why I do that is because they get knots under there and they don't want to be brushed under there. I don't think anyone would like the brushing under there. Okay. Got a lot of that out. It's fine. Okay, so now we're going to start doing the body. I'm going to throw this 30 blade back on, and they decided on a 16. Right here, 16 millimeter adjustment comb, and we're going to take some of this hair off. All right, guys, let's do this. Let's clear this all up. We'll do his nails afterwards. Realizing we got to do the nails too. Put it on low. Have him snip it. Another thing you need to do is when you're going to be clipping on the body like this, see, he's really interested in it. He wants to snip it. He wants to see what it is. Oh, he's yawning, telling me he's annoyed. And what you want to do is often just pet the dog with it in your hands. You get up close to the ears like this, and it's like they're going to hear that clipper get close. But if you're petting and they just feel it's soft, they feel it's safe because they're used to the petting in general. So we'll start like that. Okay? You're all good. And then I'll just come in and take some of that out, pet him once in a while, let him know it's all good. You're all good. See? I'm just taking care of you, taking all of it off. Look at all that hair, guys. You little redhead. Ah, isn't that beautiful color? Doesn't it have nice color? Look at that, guys. Look at that. All right, so I'm going to move on. All right, and with the nails, let's see how he does with the nails. I'm going to show him the clippers. These clippers, yeah, you can kiss the clipper. You kissing the clipper? You show me your toes. See how this goes? I don't know how he takes the clipping. All right, all right. He's got kitty cat and toenails. They're just like really, really pointy, just like a kitten. Some dogs, especially when they're younger like this, they'll have these little itty bitty toenails. So he was okay for the back end. Sometimes they may not be okay for the front end. See how he does this. He's such a good boy. Oh, you're such a good boy. Yes, you are. Huh, buddy? Is that, yeah, what's your name, bud? Buddy. Is it right? Yeah, it's Buddy. Just wanted to be sure. Hey, I have hair. All right. Good job. Good job. Good boy. There. Good job. So I'm going to scissor the pup here. If you've been watching my videos, you see me scissoring. And I'm just going to fast forward this. And I want you to pay attention to, you know, how I hold the dog, how I'm placing my scissors, and it'll be on fast forward, but you'll be able to get the gist of it. So I'm going to do this, and so we can get the scissoring done. So pay attention. So the dog's not, as you saw a few times, the dog just keeps pulling out from underneath here. So he doesn't like that I lift his leg. So my job is to try to figure out another way to do it without having to lift his leg. I prefer lifting the leg because I see better. It causes less stress on my hand here. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to keep the leg down. If the dog is fighting, and doesn't want after a few times, there's no point in trying to push it. So what you want to do is find another way to do it, okay? Or if it can't be done, you have to ask for help. Maybe you can ask for help with the client or with another, if you're at home with your wife, your husband, your significant other, whoever, a friend, a family member, you can ask for help. So he didn't want it, just change the way you do it. See, the way I like to cut here is hold the leg nice and straight. And, well, is he going to do it? I don't know. He pulls his leg out, his foot out. See how lightly I'm holding him? We want this to be, no. You have to tell him no. No. If that's not working, you're going to want to come up here and lock that elbow and do it like this. I prefer doing it the other way, but, you know, if I have to, I have to. So I'm going to lock the elbow, comb all of this nice and straight up. Lock the elbow. He's going to start pulling. No, 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 no. Doucement. See? Now, I was holding a little tighter so that he doesn't move. Now, when I told him the nose and I saw that he started relaxing, I relaxed my hand, telling him, okay, you give me a little, I'll give you a little. And that really means a lot, guys, because the more you fight, the more you're holding tighter, the more he's going to want to pull. So you got to show him that if he gives it, sorry, excuse me, that if he gives a little, you'll give a little. And you both can work together. So that's what we did here, okay? So we got one leg done here. It could be more perfect, but considering the fact that he's being calm, I don't want to push it. So today it's what it is. Puppies often, their first cut always looks like the first pancake you make. You know how it never works out, the first pancake? Well, puppies are kind of like that. The first cut sometimes kind of looks like the first pancake. So I'm going to cut all of this out. You got to be careful to have a little toe there, a little pad. So you don't want to get that. So let's move on. Sometimes it could happen that your scissors may leave little marks and whatnot, so when that happens, you should use a pair of thinners. Here I have some, these are my 40, I think they're 42, I don't remember how many teeth this one has, but when you're just floating over that spot where you're seeing some scissor marks, and you use these are just perfect to erase those little mistakes there. So you just want to float on top like that. Just let the scissors do the work for you, and look how soft that looks afterwards, okay? So, that's my 2 cents. So in doing this area here, if I'm going to be using my thinners and whatnot to cut, I'm going to be sure not to be flat. I keep my scissor in a little angle like this, like coming outwards towards me like this, lightly, just slightly. I don't want to go flat because I don't want to catch that. So I just keep it, it's like I'm touching the dog with the side of my blade here. Hang on, remember, we're not holding the dog up by the tail, we're holding the tail up, and the dog stands on his own. So that's what I do, I just come in an angle like that. If your dog does not want to stand and you have to do the tail, because they'll often want to crouch down, I suggest you stand up if you're sitting, bring your arm around, hold the tail up, never hold the dog up by the tail, come in with your scissors or your clippers, whatever you're using, and come finish your work like that. So I'm going to try to attempt a second time to clean that little pee-pee area. So back with the 10. I'm going to try to lift him, see what happens here. Put my hand underneath. Sometimes that helps him stand. When I have my hands behind his elbows, he does not want still. Hang on, hang on, hang on. You're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. All right, you got to tell them they're okay. You want all of that hair out from that jet stream, right? So hang on, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay, you're okay. Just gonna clean up a bit, just clean up a bit. Sometimes, guys, you just gotta get in there and tell them they're fine, they're fine. Look at them, you look at them, tell them they're fine. They'll stop struggling. You'll see that you put them back down. You're fine, you're fine. See? That's gonna be worth a lot down the road. When you do that, you need to be the one to tell them that it's fine, that it's okay. They're putting their trust into you, okay? So they need someone to lean on, someone, you know what I mean? Someone to lean on, someone to know that they can trust. And to do that, you need to look at your dog and say, you're okay. You need eye contact. When animals are out in the wild, that's what's happening. Body language, eye contact, and that's what you need to do. Eye contact. As long as you have nice and a calm face. I'm gonna do his head. And yeah, and when it comes to the face, often they won't. They're not always happy that you hold their little chinny chin. So there are different ways to hold your dog's face while you're grooming. And in general, I'll just have my pinky at the end there and just kind of hold a little bit of a tuft of hair here, as long as it's not pulling too much. And I'll come in here and I'll clean that all out. If the dog tends to pull, I'll try another way to hold them. There are different ways you can hold. You can hold like this, you can hold like this, and you can hold behind. It's whatever is working for you. See, if I'm coming around here and I need to come cut all of that out, I can't be holding this because I need to come cut into that. So there's a different way to hold, just the tip of the muzzle. You don't need to hold hard. We're just trying to, take this off here. We're just trying to balance, keep that head balanced, that he doesn't pull his head away, okay? So I'm just gonna come in with my scissors. He's had his, you can see that they've cut into his face before. They took some of that off. So I'm just kind of making everything a little more equal than what it was. Here for the ear, they showed me a picture. They seem to really like the ear contour like that, so I'm just going to contour the ear lightly. Leave it puppy looking. He's not sure about these here. What's this? If he would be, like right now I see he's kind of moving around. If he moves around too much, I'm going to switch and go with my other scissors, which just, you know, cut straight into it. But I want him to get used to this. And he seems not that bad. He's still a puppy. Remember, guys, he's still a puppy. He's only 6 months old. Let's do the rest of the face. An important part to get done, behind the ears here, they tend to have a lot of hair. Cut a lot of that out back here because they tend to knot up back there. So right behind that bulb there, that ear, you got to get all of that out, okay? So you just want to keep this nice and round. You come up on the side of the eye here. If you guys are interested, I have other videos too about grooming dogs' faces, so you can go check out my list of videos that I have. I have all kinds of videos on my channel, from before and afters to difficult dogs, different dog breeds, a lot, very tutorial-like videos. So, yeah.
In case you didn't know, I'm live on Wednesdays, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and I upload new videos every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you have any questions, feel free to write them down in the comments below. Take the time to subscribe and click the notification bell because it's the only way you'll know that my videos have been uploaded.